Have you ever felt like something was watching you? Not the typical feeling of being observed by a stranger, but something far more unsettling, something that knew every detail of your life, every secret, every fear? Lily, a quiet 16-year-old girl from the sleepy suburbs of Georgia, couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong, though she never could have imagined the horrors that would unfold after a simple download. It was just another lazy afternoon, the kind that stretched endlessly with nothing to do, when Lily stumbled across a mysterious app in the App Store. Its name caught her eye, Fate Predictor. She had no real reason to download it, but curiosity got the better of her. The app's icon was strange, an eye in the center of a swirling galaxy, glowing eerily against a black background. It seemed harmless enough, just another random app, and at first it was exactly that. The app's predictions were small, almost trivial at first. It predicted when it would rain, the exact time the bus would arrive, even what she might have for dinner. Little things she could verify in an instant, and they were always right. The first time Lily noticed something truly odd was when the app predicted that her phone would die at exactly 4:15 p.m. At 4:15 p.m. her phone powered off. No explanation. It just shut down as if it had been a part of some preordained plan. At first, she laughed it off as a coincidence, but as the app continued to make small, eerie predictions, things like the color of her teacher's shirt or the way a conversation would unfold between her and a friend, she began to wonder. Was it just a really well-timed coincidence, or was the app doing something far more sinister? As the days went on, the predictions grew more specific, more personal, and much more unsettling. One morning, as she sat in class, the app sent a new notification. You will meet someone from your past today. Lily rolled her eyes. Who could that possibly be? She hadn't seen anyone from her past in years. But later that afternoon, her phone buzzed again. A message from Jamie, her old childhood friend who she hadn't spoken to in over a year. Hey, are you free? I was thinking we could catch up. Her stomach dropped. It wasn't a coincidence. The app had predicted it. Things got darker from there. One evening, the app's prediction was simple. You will hear a knock at your door tonight. Do not open it. It was odd, but Lily tried to shake it off. She lived alone with her mother, who was always at work late, so it didn't seem like it could be much of a problem. That night, as the clock struck midnight, the knock came. A loud, insistent pounding on the front door. Her heart thudded in her chest as she stood frozen in the dark, staring at the door. She didn't answer. Maybe it was just the wind, maybe some kids playing a prank, but she wasn't about to risk it. She stared at the door, waiting for it to stop. It eventually did, but the fear that had crept into her bones lingered. The next night, things escalated. You will see a shadow at the end of the hallway tonight, the app predicted. Lily laughed nervously, thinking it was just her imagination running wild. But as she stepped into the hallway, she saw it. A dark figure standing motionless at the far end of the long corridor. It was so faint, so barely there, but it was there. She blinked and it was gone. Her pulse raced, her breath shallow. She couldn't explain it. She ran back to her room, locking the door behind her, but the unease settled over her like a thick fog. The app sent another notification. Fear will be your constant companion. That was when Lily started to feel like the app wasn't just predicting her future. It was manipulating it. And whatever power it had, it was growing stronger. The predictions were no longer random occurrences. They were connected to her every move, controlling her life in ways she couldn't understand. As the app began to predict more sinister events, her anxiety grew. One afternoon, the app sent a notification. You will lose someone you love very soon. It didn't specify who, but Lily's heart dropped into her stomach. That same afternoon, her dog Max went missing. He was an old, loyal companion who always stayed close, never venturing far from the house. The police couldn't find him. They searched the neighborhood, but there was no sign of Max. Lily felt the weight of the app's prediction press down on her as she sat alone in the silence of her home, wondering what it would predict next. Desperate to stop it, Lily deleted the app. She thought that if she removed it from her phone, it would go away. But the app had already burrowed its way into her mind. That night, it sent her one final message. Your time is running out. The last prediction will come true tonight. You will meet your fate. Lily didn't know what to make of it. Was it a warning? Or was it a twisted game? She couldn't escape the feeling that the app was controlling everything, orchestrating events in ways she couldn't comprehend. The house was eerily quiet as she lay in bed, staring at the ceiling. She couldn't shake the sensation that something was coming, something far worse than she could imagine. Then the knock came again. 3 loud raps on the front door. Her body froze in terror. She had to know who it was, but she couldn't bring herself to open it. Her breath was shallow and her phone buzzed with the final prediction: "You are not alone. They are watching." A cold chill spread across her skin as she stood up, slowly walking toward the door. The house was dark, and the shadows seemed to stretch unnaturally, like they were closing in on her. As she stepped into the hallway, she saw it again. A figure standing at the far end of the corridor, just like the app had predicted. This time it wasn't a faint shadow. It was solid, its face twisted in an unnerving grin. It wasn't human. Lily tried to run, but her feet felt like they were glued to the floor. She could hear heavy breathing, the sound of footsteps that didn't belong to her, echoing through the hall. Panic gripped her chest, and as she turned around, the figure lunged at her, its hands reaching for her throat. The last thing Lily saw before everything went black was the app on her phone, its glowing icon flashing with one final message: "Fate is inevitable." The next morning, Lily's phone was found on the floor, the app still open. But Lily was gone. There was no trace of her, just an empty room, a chilling silence, and the faintest scent of something that wasn't quite right. The app's predictions continued, waiting for the next victim to download it, to be drawn into its twisted game. Who would be next? And would they make the same mistake as Lily? Only time would tell. The app remained, hidden in the depths of the App Store, waiting for someone curious enough to download it. Would it be you? Would you risk finding out what it knows?